Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Talking Horses. Andy Serling, soon to be joined by the one and only Anthony Stabile. There's only one Anthony Stabile. There's only one me, too. There's only one of you, too. Anyway, we're kicking off our 1:30 posts. They're saying that it's going to be a 1:30 post.
All 13.
All throughout the months of March. I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. They say, but we'll see how it works out.
What a cynic you are.
No. I think the word term is realist, Anthony. Anyhow, you want to head over to Naira Bets. If you're not a member of Naira Bets, we'll match up to $200 deposit bonus. Use the promo code Anthony Stabile, otherwise known as Big A. We will offer you a $10 bonus if you bet $100 or more on the app at Tampa Bay on Sundays. That's, of course, through Naira Bets. Also want to remind people you still have a few days left to sign up for that Gotham Betting Challenge. Wish I could play this. As a Naira employee, I cannot, but I would if I could. Love to. Half your money to the live bankroll, half towards the prize pool. Play it online with Naira Bets. Play it on track at the Big A. That's this coming Saturday, until Thursday.
There's 2 NHC seats for that as well.
There's a whole lot of good stuff going on there. Check it out at naira.com/challenge. Very quickly, I don't have a lot to say about yesterday. I thought AT Indian ran well, and Florent Giroux.
Great ride.
Well, I mean, he's putting these other riders to shame. It's like Florent, the light bulb went off, and he said, nobody wants to go to lead anymore in races in America because I mean, I know you'll agree, dirt racing speed is terrible. You never bet speed horses on the dirt, right? They never win. So why would anybody want to go to the lead in a dirt race? It really is embarrassing.
Last summer when Flo was up at Saratoga, I talked to him about that. I said, normally...
He hasn't been an aggressive rider until recently.
I said normally, European riders, and he gave a lot of credit to Brad Cox. He said Brad Cox tells him that he wants him to be aggressive on these horses, and it really started on the turf. They were getting aggressive with the turf horses, and then I guess they just figured that, well, you know what? If it's working on one surface,
he did it 2 weeks ago all weekend. He did it at Risen Star. He did it in the race in Southwest.
He did it a couple of times at Keeneland. He did it on the turf at Keeneland, and he took races where he's just blowing these races open early, and then these horses are just running out of again, it's a game of real estate. They run out of ground trying to pick them up, setting these above average paces. And just gets the job done.
Move along and talk about today's card, however, but I agree with you. I didn't know Florent rode in Saratoga. I know I saw him at Hamilton Ghost one night, but I don't know if he was riding in Saratoga. He seemed to just make occasional appearances in town. Did he ride at all last summer? Not much.
No, not much.
Yeah, not like previous summer. Anyhow, race number 1. Anthony has the one that's had a million chances, New Frontier on top. We'll start by showing his second place finish, the talented Hip Hip Jorge. And Hip Hip Jorge came back and actually ran very well in finishing 4th subsequent start. Why is he going to finally break his maiden? Andy,
I hate these horses once they
I thought about picking them too, so I understand.
Once they get over 10, I usually shy away. But you know what? He's the rare bird that's made 11 starts, and 7 of them have come over wet tracks. And I just think his dry track races make him I don't want to say a standout because it's kind of hard to say he's a standout. His last fast track
race was a 3rd place finish at Parks.
Yeah, but that's a place where I don't put as much credence into a form at Parks as I will in other places. The race at Saratoga.
I don't see his figures as
being better. The race at Saratoga buries these horses. I think
it does,
but
he never ran it again. And don't give me the wet track thing because he's got plenty of dry track races that are slow figs. So
no, he only has 2 other dry track races. One's a 76.
What about the race at Fairgrounds? 76. Okay, I don't think it's
76.
You're making up wet track stuff. I don't agree with it at all. I think his last figure is as good as any of them. I think his last race was fine. He can win. We'll see. They're all he's not going to speed because he's going to have to be chasing ink spots around. Now we'll see if ink spots can win. Listen, we'll look at Fast Break's last race, and I'm not going to make a major excuse. He was off the rail, and the rail was the place to be, and the winner came up the rail, as you'll see if we get that video up there. I'm not sure what to do with Fast Break. I just feel as though he's been massively disappointing. Okay, we saw this one, guys. That's New Frontier. Don't worry about Fast Break. Blow off that replay. Anyhow, he's obviously been a money burner. I think his best races are better than New Frontiers, and I'm kind of just assuming here he is that one of them is going to win this race.
Okay. I agree.
Fast Break will come off the rail in the stretch. The winner actually came up. Actually, I got that. I thought the winner came inside of him. No, he doesn't. So actually, that's incorrect. He was actually on the inside most of the time. I apologize for that. Maybe a little bit off the rail. I don't know. I'm just hoping he gets it together. I don't know. I don't have a strong opinion. One of these two are going to win. He had less starts.
Couldn't find somebody was.
So it's quite a difference in price, right?
Yeah.
There's nobody.
No, I mean they're going to be
Similar price.
Yeah, they're going to be within a half a point of each other, right?
I think so.
I would have to imagine.
Anyway, we'll move on to race number 2.
Yeah.
Race number 2, we lost Floss Dancer. This is a bring-back race, but there's a new player in the race from when it was a couple of new players. There's Spring Drama and Awesome Alana. We'll show you Awesome Alana's race 2 back. Now, Anthony doesn't pick Awesome Alana today, but he did pick her last time. So, Chad Brown, do we have a stat? Yeah, I have a stat for Chad Brown. Chad Brown's got pretty good numbers. First time for a tag in the dirt. I just think she's better than these horses. I'm not her biggest fan, but I think she's found the right field.
Yeah, I think it's her or Chilling with Friends. Chilling with Friends is a little more speed than she does. I guess my biggest problem, and Chilling with Friends should be now, especially with Floss Dancer out of there, I guess she may have to deal with Spring Drama early.
Well,
but I
think so.
Chilling with Friends will be just a little better positional, have more position than Awesome Alana. This is a great number for Chad Brown, 37%. There's even a 1 cent positive ROI, which is, with horses like this, you would imagine.
We may need a new picture of Chad. He's looking a little young in that picture. He's aged.
He was a little too young in that picture, right?
Yeah,
No offense, buddy. Yeah, I think so.
I don't think he's watching.
By the way, phenomenal follow. I don't think you'd be surprised. Phenomenal follow
You're right.
on Twitter.
I would be very surprised.
Phenomenal follow on Twitter, and it's really him. For those of you asking,
if you don't know it's really him,
yeah.
you're missing the point.
Exactly.
He's insane.
It's completely. It's Chilling with Friends or Awesome Alana. His Twitter account is what we'd all like our Twitter accounts to be. It's one of the two. I don't love.
Does happen to have one of the great recent tweets.
I'm telling you.
In
the
industry history,
absolutely,
about
no
a
question
week or two
about it.
ago that Frank sent me.
I don't like the drop all the way to the quarter. Right? He could have ran off a 40 in the state bred race.
Really? Where do you think she's going to win? What do you think?
I
Really?
guess. The
40s and state bred races, by the way, they're optional claimers. She's already shown she can't win those races.
Yeah.
So no. The reason he has stats like that is he runs when they belong.
Where they belong.
And a lot of people will say, why? He's just dropping for a win. You ever notice all those horses he drops for a win? They run for the same tag or lower for other connections. He knows exactly where to run them. This is where she belongs, and she's better. I don't think Chilling with Friends is that good. In fact, I won't be surprised if horses like Party with Sands in the Sand comes alive and beats her. What about Spring Drama? What if Spring Drama decides that she can still run? I mean, I don't know if she can, but what if she remembers she can still run?
Yeah, I don't
One
either.
time she's the best horse in the race.
Obviously, there was no chance she was going to, in the sprint, deal with Forgotten Hero on the front end. Now she has to race off the bench. She stretches out. She should be in front of these horses. And maybe, look, yeah, you're right. She has some races that could beat this field.
See what happens.
I don't know if they exist anymore, but
you
they're
like
certainly
Chilling
there.
with Friends more than I do.
Yep.
Race number 3. Race number 3, we'll take a look at My Sweet Cat last race, losing to the uber-talented La Negrita. I mean, if you lose to La Negrita, you should be like 1-5 in your next start. I don't know. I guess she's the worst to beat.
Yeah, she was the second time Linda Rice Angle last time.
She won last time?
She gets out gamed to the wire by La Negrita. She's going to get on a fast track for the first time. She's going to stretch out to a mile. Started at 6, ran at 7, now goes to the mile. I don't know, man. I don't blame you for taking the white hot drawing away stable against this horse.
Thank you, I appreciate that.
But I thought she was going to be tough to beat today. Look, I don't love them when Linda doesn't win second time out. More often than not, it takes them a few. Yeah, she's supposed to have won last time.
La Negrita.
I don't disagree. I don't disagree.
I
don't disagree with that.
I'm not thrilled.
That's fine.
It's not Super 27. The reason I'm taking her is the rider change is such a dramatic upgrade. It's almost unimaginable. You're going from somebody who doesn't win very often to somebody who's riding very well right now.
Think they'll be closer in price than David has them? I think they will be.
I don't know. A lot of people like your horse, so I'm not sure. They claimed her for 30. They're running her a little lower than they claimed her. Listen, the problem with Super 27, she's never run a particularly good race. But she had no chance. They put her in a spot where she had no chance to win off the claim with a rider that gave her, sort of a tough rider to take, and she actually ran a winning race. I prefer her. I'm all 7-4 here. I mean, there isn't really anywhere else to go in here, is there?
I used a little Tokyo Bay, but
yeah, I've got her third by.
It's like what you said.
Pole.
You see, that my biggest problem, I think, with Super 27 was the fact that she just hasn't run a race where you feel like, oh, that race would win this race.
I understand, and she was in a
race.
good barn for Gary Gullo,
Yep.
but I'll take my chances.
Okay.
I thought she was a little.
Good luck to you, pal.
Thank you. I appreciate that. It means a lot to me. It really does.
I know.
Race number 4.
We don't have each other's back. Whose backs do we have, Andy?
You went off the reservation here. You actually like the 1A here, and you picked him.
No, that's a mistake.
Well,
that's supposed to be that's a 1. I'm sorry.
It's also a 1A in the picks in the.
I don't know why I wrote. I wrote it on top of my form too. Okay. I don't know why I did that. I apologize.
Because if you like Reed Kahn and you picked him in here, you should probably
I haven't
lay it out on the couch.
I haven't gone that crazy. That's a mistake. Hey, wow, that was quick. Thank you guys. I'll change it on the website too. That was a mistake. Yeah, I like Life in Shambles.
Because. But look at him beating. We got old, you got sold.
We got old, you got sold. Yes. This was the day I didn't think this horse existed anymore, or a version close to this horse.
Good call.
Yeah, and I see.
That was when
I
argued.
admit when I'm wrong.
I admit when I'm wrong all the time.
I admit
Nobody
when I'm
admits
wrong.
it. If you admit you were wrong as much as I admit when I'm wrong, it would take. You'd have to fill up a Twitter. Twitter would probably go off.
The problem is I'm not as wrong as much as you're wrong. That's why I don't have to do it as much.
Good luck with that.
And
Andy thought before that race that he finished.
Yeah,
finished.
I did.
I tried to explain to him why he was wrong, but finished.
I did.
What about his last race?
I mean, I thought his last race was good. He was running, last race he's running into a horse that's going to get loose on the lead, who had a huge advantage, and he's against the track, and he gets beat by another horse who at times would have been,
He was on a rail that wasn't the place to be, that hurt him in there. I'm just going to believe that we got old, you got sold. It's going to improve for Jason Service off the claim and get back to those bigger numbers, because that's what Jason Service does. And the fact that Jason thought enough to enter this horse in a super tough $50,000 claimer off the claim leads me to believe that he's very confident he'll run well in here. I understand he doesn't have to beat Life in Shambles, but I'm going to take my chances that he gets back to those good races for Jason. I'm a little bit scared of the number 7 in this race, who you've got second. I'm scared of this horse. Rudy's got good numbers, turning back, some blinker changes off the claim. Problem with Autostrade is he better improve for Rudy, because his races are not very good.
Yes, he's going to need to improve for Rudy. I will say this. Congratulations to Jason Service. Fine job with Maximum Security. I think the number stands at 1 for 21 with his last starters in New York. And there are an awful lot of short prices that have fallen down. I don't like taking the barns that have gone a little quiet. I certainly don't want to take them when they're shorter prices, which is the reason why I took against the horse in the first race, and I don't particularly like We Got Old, You Got Sold today.
Did you read? I read a quote from Baffert that the reason Irad was those shenanigans was the outside was the better part to be, and he was trying to get there.
Well, was it the better part to be when he made the right turn, or was it
the left turn?
Well, he made the right turn first, and then he made the left turn.
Yeah,
so when was it the part to be?
And the runner-up came up the rail.
That's right. She never left the iron.
And I saw that Irad got suspended for 8 days on Friday, and then 2 days yesterday.
10 total.
How do they not give him 100 for the performance in the stretch in that race?
Mike Smith got 8 days.
But he also got fined $200,000.
How great is that's what we need to do. Get right in the pocket.
Couldn't agree more.
Get right in the pocket.
Couldn't agree more.
How great. Don't even give him the days. Give me the 200 dimes. Go right again. Go ahead, go earn it. Get right in the pocket. That's what you got to do. I thought it was unbelievable. And you know what the best part is? People are complaining about. These are the same people. These are the same people that complain that they're hurting this, that. Now you don't want to. Now it's too much. No, it's not too much. Make them pay, and you'll see it stop.
I agree.
Plain and simple.
And I don't blame Irad, because the stewards have been letting him get away with this, and he's trying to win races. The stewards are the ones that need to crack down on him, in my opinion. I think the riders are trying to do what they can to win races.
Never a more polarizing horse than this horse. Is there though?
Who?
I mean, Maximum Security. Just think about everything.
What the problem with Maximum Security is buffoonery in the internet. Every time he runs a race, he shouldn't have been disqualified in the Derby, as though. I think the term non sequitur needs to be used in that one. It doesn't matter. Get over it. It was 10 months ago. He should have come down. He did. Even if he didn't, who cares? Every time he runs,
the most important part of that, by the way, is
lunatics on Twitter tell me he should have won the Derby.
10 months ago.
Who cares? It's just a nonsense. It just shows these people are not paying attention to racing on a daily basis, because they'd have 800 other things to be crying about. Since then, it's like, just move on. And by the way, yes, to some people, I didn't like him in the Derby, but I respect him now.
Hands up, me
He's
either.
earned my respect.
Yeah,
Okay,
no question
fine.
about it.
Have you liked every winner that's run? These
Right.
people, like these idiots on the internet that say, I don't know what I'm talking about.
I
Now,
like
let
it
me
better.
finish.
Go ahead.
I don't know what I'm talking about because I didn't respect Zenyatta. Now, first of all, I did respect Zenyatta. I had problems with the way she was campaigned, and I think that she was overhyped. But she was obviously a very, very good horse. But regardless, I mean, this notion by people that one bad opinion means you're an idiot. Believe me, I have plenty more bad opinions to back up my being an idiot than just not thinking Zenyatta was the greatest horse of all time.
3 for
And
5,
this
3 for 5, 2
nonsense
for
is
7.
Insane.
Listen,
Insane. Maximum
I
security
like
is
it better.
insane.
I like it better when it's, why are you saying that about the horse? Like we have this vendetta with the actual animal.
Right. Like it's some sort of
Right?
personal. It's crazy.
So
People are
sick.
insane. Anyway, race number 5. We'll take a look at the Beautiful Karen Takes Charge Donna race because we'll show the head-on of the start, and both Beautiful Karen and Takes Charge Donna get sloughhed by the number 5 horse who comes in, and we'll discuss the number 5 horse because the number 5 horse is Rosie's Invasion, who gets a rider change after just the awful ride that this horse got in the race, and we'll show you now the start to the half-mile pole, and obviously Beautiful Karen runs very well in here. Rosie's Invasion, it should be pointed out, and I know she came in and caused that, she was the controlling speed in this race. And okay, she had that little issue to start, but she was in front right after that. And not only did the guy not make any attempt whatsoever to go to the lead, and she was lone speed, and maybe she would have run last, but she was lone speed, he drags her back to last.
Yeah,
He drags her back to last. She's second race. It's unbelievable. Anyhow.
He's ripping her off the pace here. Like
Crazy.
you said, it's not that he's not encouraging her to go. He's grabbing a
restraining her.
hold and taking her,
And
letting horses
Jose
dance.
Lezcano, the leading rider, shows why he is, because he goes, okay, nobody wants to lead in here, I'll take it, thank you very much.
So she overcomes now. The horse on the lead now, Beautiful Karen, overcomes getting completely eliminated at the start to have to go around these horses, make this big harness racing like middle move to get to the lead. And by the way, keep in mind, this is going a mile, first time out. And she's on the lead. She takes them into deep, deep stretch. Here he is. We'll pick it up at the
But
quarter
it is
pole.
worth noting, this is a very slow race.
It is. But Andy,
I mean, but it's
everything she overcame in here.
I understand, but there is a reason that people accurately say there are no trips in slow races.
Oh.
And this was a race that was timed with a sundial. And everybody saw this. And I'm not saying she shouldn't have won, because she probably should have won. But this was also a very slow race.
Okay, and that's all well and good, but I think then you know what? I think she should partially be absolved from that in here, just because of everything she overcame to run as well as she did first time out.
She ran very well. I don't disagree. It was still a very slow race. And Jose also took advantage of dynamics by making that move.
He did.
So,
he did.
The early trouble aside, she had a lot of things go her own way. I'm not saying she's not the horse to beat, but I think she's going to be overbet because of that. And I also think she's got a serious rival in Making Sense. Now, I know you don't think Jeremiah Englehart's ever going to win another race. I do. And he almost won one with the horse I bet at 6-1 yesterday, Pave It. A series of horses that were nice prices, I bet, that got second. But that's the way the game goes. But I'll carry that grudge for 10 more months every time they run on Twitter. Making Sense's first race is just a much better field. And last time out,
yeah.
I mean, it's
They
the same
walked-
rider
she
who was on
walked the
Rose
dog on the
Invasion,
front end.
who's been riding much better. I will give Jorge Vargas credit. He has been riding much better. And I think he's realized some of the mistakes he made, and he's been atoning for them a bit. But this another horse. Did you watch this? He dragged this horse out of the race like somebody said to him, if you're anywhere near the lead, you're in big trouble, buddy.
What was scary about that was they were walking on the front end.
And he's like
they were
pulling the
like
horse
jet
back in the race.
skis.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Which is why Nicky Scissors won and then came back and didn't run well. This horse was really against it, and this horse ran fine first time out. I think Making Sense is the horse to beat, to be honest. But
Good luck.
I am more confident the Beautiful Karen is going to get the distance in here. Well, you did the same silly thing you did last time. I understand Rose's Invasion's a little bit interesting in here because of the bad ride, but the thing about her last time was she was the controlling speed in there. Now, maybe Eric will descend her, maybe she'll wire again. But I also think that Jeremiah and Jorge Vargas have to come together and realize that this horse is supposed to be forward as well.
Oh, yeah. I would be very surprised if
More
Making
forward.
Sense wasn't
At least
forwardly
more
placed
forward,
today. Yeah, I mean, she has to. She almost has to be, especially
ridiculous
on the
last
stretch out, right? And, you know, I do wonder about Rosie's invasion. No blinkers first time. The blinkers went on. She had those antics. Now Eric Cancel, one of our leading riders who's riding tremendously right now, gets aboard. I wonder if she takes advantage and lets them.
We're going to run out of time, so we're going to move on.
Okay.
But I do want to offer you a bet. I'll bet you 4 lunches to 2 that the 4 finishes ahead of the 1. You've got the 1/3. I've got him 4th.
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, okay, so I'm up 46 lunches now.
That's 4-2. Got it.
Yeah.
I'll be under. I'll be 38.
You better hope that something happens to 4.
I don't know.
You really better
happens,
hope that the four like stumbles at the start or something.
Okay.
But you won't have to pay. I won't have to pay then because I've let you off on those as well.
Right.
Anthony's biggest win today came at scratch time in race number 6.
Knew that was coming.
Anthony.
Knew that was coming.
I mean,
You're happy
for those of you at home, you're missing out on the comedy of Anthony explaining why he liked the 4. We'll take a look at Tapazirance's last races. We'll make it through this race quickly. This horse just ran first time for Brad Cox, and he actually has good numbers coming back.
Second time for Cox, first time on the fast
Yeah,
track.
right.
This
horse ran.
I worry about the mile.
I don't.
Okay. We talked about it last time that maybe this horse didn't want the mile.
Yeah.
We talked about it last week.
The way he ran last time, I'll take my chances tomorrow.
You're not worried about the weak turnaround,
What
too?
do I think? I think that Brad Cox got this horse back to the better form he showed. This horse had some talent earlier in his career.
Yeah, he did. Oh, yeah.
And he just went the wrong way, and I think he's getting him back the right
He
way.
doesn't do this a lot, though, Andy. He doesn't wheel these horses back quick very often. He's got 1 in the last 14 months. Just 1. That's something you would think a barn that does play the claiming game would do more often.
They were so relieved when Thunder Day came out.
Leave me alone.
He's got a. By the way, you picked him over. You picked your boy Mike Tenizzo 3rd. Here's Wild Banker winning 2 races back.
I originally picked him 4th.
Mikey, do you hear this? Do you hear this? Anthony had you 4th. He's scratching you 3rd when the Chuck Lawrence horse came out. Mikey, I'd put him on probation for this one. I'd give him like a week or something for this. What's wrong with this horse?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
What shot did he have last time against Titans Will?
None.
What is he pointing? The
Prince
Gotham
of
or just go right to the wood?
Too, yeah.
Go right to the wood with
Nothing.
him? That last race?
No, nothing.
I like this horse. I actually think this horse is okay.
Yeah, I mean, listen,
I
said, I am not thrilled with Tapazirance here.
Okay, clearly, you picked Thunder Day.
Yeah, I'm not thrilled with him.
I think there's a chance Chuck Lawrence scratched him because he felt bad for you. I really do. He just didn't want you to get embarrassed up here and then on the racetrack.
This guy's unbelievable.
I got nothing clever to say here. I think Mr. Short and Simple has that much chance, and I don't like my sacred place, so I think it's just slow.
Okay.
You like Mr. Short and Simple. You're showing allegiance to Rudy. So what happened? Rudy buy you lunch or something yesterday? Is there something going on that
I bring my own
about?
lunch, Andy. I'm on a diet. I'm not on a diet. I'm on a weight loss program.
How's it going?
It's going good.
I'm glad.
I just
I gotta get on one. You're not the only one that should be on one. I'm growing.
Mr. Short and Simple has more speed than Wild Banker. That was the only reason. That was the coin flip.
I think we do have to talk about the racetrack, and I'm glad you brought it up because we did see the track morph into the Friday track, and the inside was good, and horses really took advantage of it yesterday. It wasn't. I don't know how super strong it was. I got to take a better look at it, and I'm going to need it for the next race because race number 7. Anthony's picking Dahl to win 2 straight races, and here is Dahl.
If Mills can do it, Dahl can do it.
Yeah, no. Mills laid over that field. Dahl doesn't lay over any fields that she's ever in. She won last time because Alpha Dora was on was coming off a long layoff, and the 4th place finisher came up the rail. The 2nd and 4th place finishers both lost to a big priced horse in the subsequent start, and I understand she's the speed. She's all yours.
Yeah,
she is all yours.
She's the speed.
So Jason Service is okay at 1 for 21 in this race.
This one.
But not in the other race. I'm just wondering, no, so that the 1 for 21 didn't apply here?
This is what I'm going to say to you. This is what I'm going to say. The same way you believe that I personally don't think Jeremiah Engelhardt is ever going to win another race again.
I know you don't.
So
I know you don't.
This guy's unbelievable.
Well, he's down at Oklahoma.
Unbelievable.
He's down at Oklahoma with a herd of New York breds.
Of course he's going to win.
He's down at Oklahoma with a herd of New York breds.
Does
he know that Oklahoma's in Arkansas?
Do yesterday? Did he run?
He was scratched. I hope he was scratched because they're shipping him back to run him in the Damon Runyon here in 2 weeks. Because honestly, Jeremiah,
when I saw him in yesterday,
Arkansas, they're in New York breds.
When I saw, you know what I think it might be? I think he feels more comfortable down south with the beard.
I don't know what happened. I think he hit his head.
Anyway, here's my spiel about Dahl. My man Romero's going to climb aboard. They're getting the weight, and she's gone. Believe me, I didn't want to take this horse.
I know at what place she's gone from. My tickets.
I put a Finger Lake shipper who ran here once, 2nd in here, because I don't trust the rest of these horses. You're going to continue to try.
I actually do like horses in this race.
Okay.
I think Taylor's the Boss is a player. She got run off her feet against a much better field last time. Not one of Kendrick's best rides. I think he would agree 2 races back. I think she is very dangerous in this race. And yeah, I know that, listen, I have to make my picks under the assumption when I make them days in advance the track's going to be fair. I can't. You're going to adjust during the day, but you have to make your picks based on it. You have a problem. You don't understand that Carlisle Bell's good enough to win this race. And she's also not a router. I think her race 2 back is good enough to win here. I think her race 3 back behind Mary's Girl is good enough to win here. I think her win the slop at Belmont is good enough to win here. And she's going to be a square price. So I think she's absolutely usable in this race. She has an upgraded rider to Eric Cancel, and I think she is a major player in this race. And by the way, we haven't discussed it enough on this show. How about the winter that Gary Siaka's had?
Fantastic.
How well did that horse run off the claim of the stake yesterday and run second? Okay?
Ran his eyeballs out.
Right. It was a good pick by David, by the way. Eric don't like that horse.
Horse ran well.
That horse. Gary is really, his horses are running.
I've been putting my picks up earlier and earlier. You and I talked
Yeah, he
Friday.
actually occasionally gets them in before the day.
You and I talked about.
I put them up like a month before.
You and I talked about the track.
I got my picks.
You and I talked about the track, and I waited until put the Sunday picks up until last night because I too wanted to watch the races yesterday.
Did you?
I did.
How'd it go?
I don't know how you're going to get her home.
Okay, you don't like her, I do. We need to move on. You don't like her, I do. I don't know. Maybe the track is fair today. Maybe some trainers said, the rail's been really strong. It's not really fair, and they're going to go and do it.
I obviously don't think. I don't think Dahl's going to get beaten here because I wouldn't have picked her.
I just want guys make sure in the truck you've saved that for a time capsule. Anthony actually just said, I don't think Dahl is going to get beaten.
I don't.
Here. Okay, good. When you're in a straitjacket in a couple of days, you'll be screaming, I didn't think Dahl's going to get beat. I'm going to tell Frank you said that.
Okay. Go ahead.
What race are you calling today, by the way?
Second and third.
Second and third? You calling the whole day next Sunday?
Yeah, you're not here.
I know. I stay home to listen.
Of course,
I don't want any interruptions.
Take notes.
I don't want any interruptions. I don't want any distractions. I want to be in my apartment comfortably listening to you call the races. Race number 8.
I'll be here with David next
Race
weekend.
number 8, Patagonia. I'm going to tell you something.
You mad?
Well, here's the replay. I'm not sold on this horse.
Supposed to beat me for a lot of money last time.
Okay. What do you think of Communicator's next race? Okay. Has he finished yet?
No.
And maybe he was running against some New York Reds at Jeremiah's down at Oaklawn, but he was last. How did Moretti do? Moretti lost at 3-5 at Laurel.
This horse ran.
And by the way, for a Mr. Water guy, it doesn't bother you at all that this race has come back a stinker and this race was in water.
This guy thought about running this horse in a Bernardini yesterday.
Oh, it was such a tough race. Oh, was it a tough race?
No. I'm not. You're right. You're 100% right.
I'm not sure this race isn't as tough, if not tougher.
Well, you might be right there. I mean,
I could be making a great point. I was on the verge of
You were on the verge.
I was close.
You were on the verge.
It was a very good point, but not a.
Yeah, he's got a couple of horses he has to face in here.
Like Small Bear. You want
to talk about lack of allegiance.
I picked him third. Listen, Gary and I are good with Small Bear. Gary knows that I have mad love for Small Bear. Gary and I have had many conversations about Small Bear.
This is an interesting race because, you honestly could make a case for any of the 6 horses in here. You don't think you could?
Yeah, Crew Chief's a little tough to make. Crew Chief's
Crew Chief's a claim back from Mike Baker.
I guess you could, but his claimers in the dirt aren't great. The 5 Franks, the horse that I don't like is Frank's Gun is Loaded. And I know that Danny will think it's personal or something. It's not. And I am going to show you a very good stat for Danny Gargan after we show the replay of him. I'm going to say a couple things about him. I have no idea where this race came from. And he beat Kreisbrick Law in this race, and Hirsch.
I think this
going a mile.
So we talked about Patagonia.
This was a bad field.
We talked about Patagonia.
The favorite also failed to show up.
And the field he beat. And now we're going to talk about this horse in the field he beat, and you're right.
I know nobody ever run back out of Patagonia's race, but at least they theoretically were credible horses. Okay. This was not one very credible field behind him.
This horse.
But Danny has great numbers, we'll show you.
Well, fantastic numbers, that's number 1.
Here's number
2, with this horse's pedigree, they don't write races long enough for this horse. So.
Well, why didn't he run him yesterday in the Bernardini?
I don't know. I tell you right now.
You know why?
I would have ran this horse in the Bernardini, but Danny also likes to go get the money. And trying to eat some of that allowance money up.
I respect that these horses win back for Danny.
This horse has to be used today.
If I really like somebody to race, he would be on my ticket somewhere because I'm always scared of Danny's horses. But off his last race, I don't like this horse in here. Okay, why do I like Roman Union? I'm looking through this race, and I'm going to tell you, I know David likes Roman Union. I saw that. He's not going to be 3 to 1. He's going to be higher than 3 to 1 in this race.
I agree with that.
They're going to go crazy for the 3 and 5 in this race. So I'll be very surprised. I don't know now how he thinks this horse can be a similar price to the 5, but maybe I'm wrong. Having said that, this horse, when you start looking at the race a little bit more carefully, what chance did he have behind those horses last time?
None.
He actually ran well in the Queens County. That was a wicked pace, and he was right close to the pace.
He didn't run poorly last time.
And
he had no
I'll
trip
say
last
something
time.
else. Once again, Michelle's Barn has done a little bit better. This horse has got some races that make him a player in this race, the American Tattoo race. I know it was a sloppy track. I think he's a good enough player, and I think he's going to be closer to 4 to 1, 9 to 2 in here.
I know we got to get to the last. I'm using the 4 of them. It's All Relevant's going to be on the lead in here.
He's not
And
impossible.
He's
He
not
has an excuse.
impossible.
His last race is excusable.
Yeah, they're going to. Romero's going to let him roll, and you know what? I think it gives Roman Union a real trip in here. He's going to sit right off of him.
The addition of Romero to the Colony is a problem for you because you've got to fit him into your allegiances somewhere. If only he would just ride for Eddie Barker and Rudy, then you could always pick them.
And Michael.
And Mike Cantinizzo, right? Then, because he could really throw a whole monkey wrench into your illusions. He's riding for Rudy here. Rudy Jr.'s his agent.
Sprinkle a little Chad and a little Mott in there, and I'd be so set. I'd be perfect.
By the way, I think he's good with that. Race number 9. I like race number 9. I want to. Did I show the guys? Did I bring up the replay for this? It wasn't. Oh, let's show it. It's not on the sheet I have. So I threw out the bottom sheet, but it wasn't on there either.
Jack Bowe?
I cannot bet either Elios Milos or Air on Fire out of this race. Air on Fire ran for the waiver and was awful, sitting a perfect stalking trip behind the pace. Elios Milos moved up like ginger ale, right? Imagine you needed him for a score, and he got 3rd. He doesn't finish the deal. Air on Fire's only run well for Jason Service and has a loss at 5 cents to $1 in a 3-horse field at Prairie Meadows. I cannot pick them on top. I have no argument there. The horses to beat. I can't pick them on top. So I made up a case for Jack Bowe, which is I know he's run one going longer. He is better going shorter. He ran off last time against a much better field. You could say the same thing about some other races, and I think this is a very good spot for him cutting back in distance.
Get your cut back,
he makes
the
a
whole
lot
thing.
of sense in here.
Okay. Yeah.
Running some better horses.
I picked Elios Milos. I didn't have a real opinion here. I picked Elios Milos.
Supposed to give up on it. Flat rate. Well, you had to
see what fresh. Well, I want to see what the
fresh.
fresh gelding does, and Manny does, and Manny goes back to him. He's outside. He's got some early tactical speed. I'm hoping that he can be in the right spot in here.
Well, his tactical speed is the speed of the speed.
Yeah. Well, what do you think they're going to do with Jack Bowe?
I don't think Flat Rate can run anymore. So he's all yours.
All right.
Jack Bowe? What am I doing with Jack Bowe? Probably sit 4th. I don't know. He's not fast enough to run Quest for Fire and for Black Rate. If he guns ahead of them, then
I think
I'll
that rider
pull the few hairs I have left out.
I think that rider decides who's faster and who's not.
I don't want to get into what that rider thinks.
I can't believe you picked him for that. I can't believe you picked him.
Well, he's going to be a price, and
Okay.
it's very hard because once you decide you can't pick the 3 and 4,
you
got to get
yes.
creative here, and I don't mind.
And if you don't
him
like Flat Rate, there's not
a little
many
bit of
other
an
places to
alternative
go.
in here. I thought he was interesting.
Fair enough.
Manny riding Mr. Freeze yesterday, and he was second with both your Crazy Horse and 100 lengths back, but second nonetheless in that 73-horse photo. And he also finished second with Mission Office. Nice trip down there.
He's been on my Eclipse Award ballot the last 2 years.
Manny?
Leading rider on the NYRA circuit has to get some love. That's just how it works.
Especially from the Big A.
That's just how it works, my friend.
Let's give the Big A a little love if you're not a member of NYRA Bets.
Yes,
sign
please
up for
do.
NYRA Bets and give your love to the promo
Just
code.
proves your love for me.
Big A. If you're looking, if anyone out there is
wanna
looking
send some
to
pizza,
prove
you
their
can send
love
it that
to Big
way,
A,
too.
this is where you go. $200. We'll match up at $200. A $10 bonus if you bet $100 or more on Tampa today through the app and the app only. And also a reminder, you've still got a little over 4 days left to sign up for the Gotham Handicapping Challenge. $500, the seats, the NHC, prize pools, everything out there. Get all the information at NYRA.com/challenge. Play it online with NYRA Bets, or come out and visit us. It's going to be a nice day. It's going to be a great racing card.
Beautiful. We're not here to tell you. Listen,
We're running 43 races. We're going to be running until about 9.
We don't run again until Friday,
First
so we're
post
not,
is 3.
we're not going to be able to remind you anymore. It closes Thursday
That's right.
at 5 o'clock. I'll remind you on HRN a couple of times this week, but you have to get in by Thursday at 5 p.m., and you can play it from the comfort of your own living room.
I'm going to say it. You made a great point.
Boom. What a way to end the week.
Speaking of great points, John and Brielle.